they do something to violate your trust, you can or violate anything, you have the right to criticize that friend, family member, or significant other. And when you are critical of these things, it's in hopes that they address those things and you move forward. That's all the brother Kaepernick did. But people in the mainstream media, that's why I don't do a whole lot of reading of the mainstream media. I go listen to people directly who are directly involved, and I have conversations with them. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is go to my Twitter thread. You see I'm speaking to people who are insiders of the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball and other forms of sports all the time. Now, instead of addressing this or saying, hey, he's an employee, but he has the right to do what he wants to do, the NFL took the side of he's alienating a specific portion of our fan base. Now, at this point, the President of the United States gets involved and a bunch of other bigots get involved behind him. And they turn the narrative into anti-America. Now, you can turn it into whatever you want to. If you're stupid enough to believe that, I'm not even going to address that, man. If you believe that this dude is anti-America, I would only be wasting my time and yours to explain why he's not. And I'm never going to get into it with you, because all you have to do is do any form of research, and then you will be potentially where I am. If you're not, that's cool too. I don't have an issue with people disagreeing with me, contrary to popular belief. Back to the subject at hand. The brother Kaepernick stood up for social justice, and people got angry with him and turned him into a bad guy. Not a problem. You can believe what you want to believe. As one of the co-hosts on the show, you said you got your wrong ass opinion and I have mine. But, and in that instance, you can be wrong, and I don't. I'm not going to debate it with you. But when the NFL took the side of people who disagreed, instead of A, staying neutral, or B, look, this is our employee, and that's not what he's saying. I don't want to lose you as a customer, but understand, if you had a view and anybody else want to step up and disagree, you can. You have the right to. Please respect his rights. But what you did was you got together, you colluded, and you took the side of white supremacy. To me, anytime you side with wrong, knowing that what's actually true, you have no regard for what's right. And if you don't have any regard for what's right, I don't have any time to patronize you or anything that you do. I won't be buying any more t-shirts. I won't be buying any more hats. I won't buy no more nothing with NFL logos on it. And my stance is simply this: if you violate my community or disrespect or disregard my community, I'm not going to support you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Point blank, period. I'm not angry. I'm not venomous. I'm not going, oh man, I hate you. None of that. You just stand on the left side of the fence and I stand on the right side of the fence. And I'm not going to walk up to the fence and debate you. You on that side of the fence, I know where you stand. And I'm on this side of the fence, you know where I stand. And I'm walking away from the fence, which I've done for the NFL. Now, how can you have that stand and still talk about football? Because you are my listeners. You support me. You want to talk about football. So if I want to stay in business, I must be able to intelligently have conversations with you. And if you want to have a conversation with me now, 773-797-2409 is how you call the show. I'll be more than glad to talk to you about this, because this is the very first and very last time I will be addressing this issue. If you call my show in the future and you want to talk about this, I will be hanging up on your ass. Now, with that being said, I don't have an issue with you having a contrary, even as a fan of my show or a fan of anything that I'm a fan of. If you don't want to hear it, that's cool too. I'm not talking about it anymore. And I'm not talking about it in my free time, when the show is off. I'm not doing any of that. So, if, as a matter of fact, today will be time stamped. This show will be timestamped. All I'll do is say go to the end of the bench show that was aired the 22nd of September 2018, and you can get my point of view. And then you can call. No, you can't. You can't call and talk to me about the shit no more, because I'm not going to talk about it. Look, If you don't understand where the brother Kaepernick is coming from, and you don't understand where your man B coming from, that's your hard ass luck after this segment. I'm not going to address it anymore. I'm not going into it anymore. And that's it. That's all. Now, the NFL said we're protecting our fan base. You're A-late. But guess what? There's a great percentage of your fan base, both white, Asian, Latino, European, Asian, Latino, Native, people from my community. They on my side of the fence. So while you took the side of the people who are diametrically opposed to me, that let me know you were really saying to hell with people like B. And again, I wouldn't give a damn if Roger Goodell heard this show and called 773-797-2409. Yep, I'm going to do it out there just in case he is listening. If Roger Goodell called me right now and say, B, I need to fly you to New York. I'm going to have a conversation with them, and I'm still not ever going to watch the show again. I'm not going to watch the product again. Because you know what? Roger Goodell may be a reasonable person. People that always hear about how reasonable the Rooneys are. They may be reasonable. They're progressive people throughout the league. But you know what? The people like Jerry Jones, the people like the dude who owned the two-faced ass dude who owned the Miami Dolphins, the people like in other branches, people like John Elway, two-faced ass, and other people who say smile in your face and behind your back talk trash. That's why I can't ever go back, because I can never trust the fact that you've purged all that hate from my community out of the league. And I'm not going to support something that clearly hates me, and I'm not going to pretend and profess to love it. Sorry, that's it, that's all. Now, as a matter of fact, I'll even extend it to the end of the show. If Chip or anybody who sides with Chip is listening to the show, you can call 773-797-2409. Otherwise, when I end the show, when you hear this, when you hear this right here.
You know what it is, man. Drink those dreams and man up. And live those dreams, because a life without dreams is black and white. And the universe flows in technicolor, surround sound. Wow.
When you hear that, that'll be the last damn time you ever hear me talk about this, because I'm not talking about it anymore. Now, back to the fun. The fun starts. Actually, we still on this social issue shit. School superintendent in Texas made an outlandish dickhead of a statement about black quarterbacks. He said you can't rely on black quarterbacks to make fast decisions, which so that's why Deshaun Watson isn't doing as well as he should. Again, with the racism, you're right. You can't rely on black quarterbacks to make fast decisions, because you know what? Deshaun Watson took a little time to express how he felt about that, which he did it. He did it regally. Me personally, I would have gave the dude exactly what he was looking for. A real fast response and been like, man, fuck you. Fuck dude and everybody who looked like him. That's what I'd have said. But Deshaun Watson handled it properly. See, the thing is, the NFL, his head coach immediately jumped up and finished. Deshaun is one of the greatest people I know. And, all that, I got a black friend BS. I get it. It's cool, man. You can have black friends. I got some black friends, too. They suck. Some of them suck. Some of my black friends ain't shit. So stop telling me how you got black people as your friends, because all black people ain't cool, just like all white people ain't stupid as you. So I don't give a damn if you got black friends, if your wife black. I don't give a damn about any of that. Okay? Less racist, bigots, because I know some racists and bigots listen to this show. They used to call the show all the time. But if you feel that way, then cool. Again, stay your ass away from me, and I'm going to stay the hell away from you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be your co-worker. I don't want to share a sandwich with you. If I see your ass burning, I might throw a bucket of gas on you. I'm for real. I'm tired of the hatred and the racism and the bigotry and the discriminatory behavior towards my community. I'm just tired of it. We don't go around hating folks, and folks hate us. So I don't know about the rest of the community. I'm sick and fucking tired of it, and I'm not going to hold my tongue ever again. Now, the NFL feels this way too. People. It's only been the NFL is 99 years old. 99 years old. It's the 99th year for the National Football League. as we know it today. Actually, it's the 48th year as we know it today, but it's 99th year of the NFL, period. National Football League is 99 years old. And by and large, the NFL has showed us that they feel this way as well. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is look at the history of the league. There are a few positions. There's 4 positions that are known as the cerebral positions. One, first and foremost, is the quarterback. The most important position on the field. Then it's the center. The center, what people don't know is the center actually is just as important as the quarterback. If you don't have a solid center, your quarterback has to do more work. Your quarterback has to do more work. He's more prone to make a mistake. If he's prone to make a mistake, mistakes are interceptions, fumbles, and inability to complete passes. The center is the dude who tell the other offensive linemen where to line, where to block, who to block, where to shift to, and things of that nature to keep their quarterback upright. The next position is middle linebacker. Middle linebacker is the quarterback of the defense. You know what? In essence, he's the center of the defense. He's calling out the plays just like the center. The quarterback of the defense is the safety. If you look historically, those 4 positions, they kept us out of those positions as long as they could. So when you identify that, guess what else? Here's another issue. Most of, and this is why I say it's still happening, most assistant coaches and head coaches come from those positions. Middle linebackers, safeties, backup quarterbacks. NFL has very few backup quarterbacks. Backup quarterbacks tend to be the next head coaches. Frank Reich, backup quarterback. Head coach, Baltimore, head coach, the Indianapolis Colts. I want to call him Baltimore Colts so bad. Doug Peterson, head coach, Philadelphia Eagles. John Gruden, backup quarterback and coach. You can go throughout the league. Most of the guys who play quarterback or backup quarterback are head coaches. Now, when you look at you have to look at it in its totality. It's easy for me to just throw that out, man. See, but look, when you look around the league, you don't see a lot of black assistant coaches. Where you do see them primarily are on the defensive side. And the reason I say that is because the reason I feel it's that way is because defense is traditionally not known as a cerebral form of football. Allegedly, stereotypically, you don't have to be a very smart person to be on defense because they never talk about the genius outside of one Bill Belichick, but don't tell me about 1 or 5 guys in a 100-year span with 30 teams and so forth and so on. Very few guys are looked upon as cerebral guys on the defensive side of the ball. Even with Bill Belichick, they call him a genius. But they don't call him a football genius, they call him a defensive genius. Bill Parcells, same way. When you talk about genius, you talk about offensive football. And when you talk about offensive football, that's when all the intelligence comes about. Mike Martz, genius. Andy Reid, Bill Walsh, Tom Landry. Even though Tom Landry was the architect for the doomsday defense, he's more known for the offense the Cowboys and the numbers that the Cowboys put up. But they had a doomsday defense. Yeah, defense called doomsday. You know what the hell you're doing on defense. But people don't equate intelligence with defense. That's why you're more likely to be a black defensive coordinator and never getting that shot at the head coach. That's why, if you think about it, it's rare that they hire defensive-minded coaches. Rare. That's a rare situation where he was the master of defense and now he's going to be the head coach. Because a lot of the defensive coordinators are black. Or the defensive assistants are black. And defense is known as rah-rah. You just have to rile up the troops and then go out there and knock people down like Neanderthals or something. So when you look around the landscape of the league, you continue to see these white coaches from the offensive side of the ball, either be offensive guys or backup quarterbacks. It explains why you don't see a whole lot of black guys being backup quarterbacks and assistant coaches. Because then you would have to let us in. So while this guy spoke pure ignorance